I got a better signal now, I think. I don't know, it's still orange. I'm just not getting a good signal. I don't know how I can not be getting a good signal right now. I'm literally right on top of the boxes. See, it's still showing I only have two bars right here. Right here. And it should be, see, network connection 5 out of 10. Let me try to turn this off. You're going to have to stalk us. It looks like nobody ever wants me to be online. That's nothing new. Shut down the device. Okay. Let's see if that gets any better. I don't know why I'm picking up such a crap signal, you guys. Hey, Kath. Good morning. How are you feeling? Says I got a strong signal in one place, but Restream's got me on a very crappy signal. It's getting like 2 orange bars. And that's annoying.
Get a brown cord over.
I can't. Not too much.
No, you got a brown extension cord over.
Well, yeah, but there's stuff in it, and this is a 3-way prong. So I can't do that. I don't know what else in here either. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. You know that no matter what you do to make sure you have everything right, you even go test on your other stream. But when you finally go live, everything in the world is going to go wrong. That's what's happening to me right now. Yep, down in the boondocks, Twister. So, once again, I have a feeling when I start talking about what I want to talk about, it's going to kick me right off of here, but we're going to try anyways. Hey, good morning, Joanne. Hey, Just Love. Let me throw you the link out here so you can be up here if I do lose my voice. You can help talk for me. Talking has never been my strong suit, you guys. I'm trying to get used to it, but my voice is not used to it. So, get me some help up here. I don't know why I have such a bad signal in Restream right now. Hold on. I'm trying to copy it. Yeah. Well, I'll guess to pair channels for this stream. No. Come on. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Emre. Sorry about that, guys. Getting kicked off. I'm still showing I have a really bad signal, so not on my computer, just Restream's giving me a bad signal. No, I can't get this thing to do nothing I want it to do right now. Come on, are you serious? See, I shouldn't have tested anything. I should have just hit the button on my phone, went live like I normally do, and just said forget it. But I actually tried to be prepared. Should have just never done that. Come on. Yeah, Just Love, stand by. I'm going to get a link one ear. I'm just going to really just smack this thing across the room. What's that plug for, babe?
That's for your power cord. It goes into the 3.
What's the problem? That I can't share a link. Thank you, September Virgo. We appreciate that. I want to talk about that too, first thing. Actually, how I feel about some of the things that are going on out here today, this week, ever since we haven't been going live every day like we were. This is ridiculous. I'm starting to get ill.
Let's log back off and go all the way back in.
No, I'm not going to do it again. All I want to do is get this link. This is unbelievable. Maybe I need to take a deep breath.
Yep. Yeah, hold your mouth right.
Oh, do, 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 do.
Down here,
It's not doing it. It's literally not even coming up right here. All right, I'll try again in a minute. I'm not able to share a link for some reason. What's this for?
that goes into a 2 plug.
I'm going to plug in. In case I need it, I won't have to stop where we're at. Like I said, I was so prepared. It just looks like I wasn't. But what I wanted to talk about, you guys, is this confusion about true crime, drama, and crama, or whatever the new word is that they're trying to make up. I personally don't feel that the two worlds can coexist in a peaceful manner. To me, what I've been understanding as far as this crama thing goes is all you do is you sit back and you talk about everyone that covers true crime. I personally have become one of the ones that get talked about all the time, and from what I see, our family here is pretty much the only ones doing real research for the last 6 months. Some people are coming on board now, a little late to the game, but better late than never. I support you and I stand behind you, and I've tried to do that all along for all the creators. I've sent very nice emails reaching out to people to let them know my personality and to let them know what I'm about. And I'm to the point where now I no longer give a shit, you guys. I'm sick and tired of being nice. Nice got me nowhere. So now I'm just going to be real about it. You can have a channel and you can have it and call it anything you want to. And you can have straight drama. You can have straight crime. You can have a little bit of both, but there is no such thing as crama. Let me tell you what that is. What that is it's called destroying the case that other guys are making. Just like the case of the Bakersfield boys and the case we are working on now, they become lost in a shitstorm of allegations, lies, finger pointing, drama. It's not crama, it's simply drama. It gets to a point where investigators don't listen to us, they don't listen to anyone else, and they simply just start ignoring us and the case. And slowly it fades away until you don't hear anything anymore. So I can't imagine a world where both can exist and be merged together in something called crama. I can't see that happening, and maybe someone will prove me wrong one day, but what I'm seeing happening right now is someone, well, not just someone, there's a lot of someones that get on the internet every day and spend all of their time talking about other people and wasting time. Thank you, Laura Lee. I'll check in just a minute. The people that are doing that, I cannot see at any point that they ever did any research of their own. It's the same type of thing that I just put down Tiffany Marie and Lips and Glitter Queen and all them ladies for. Is still happening in other places. If you're sitting back to watch other people work, to wait for them to make a mistake or call their theories crazy or their ideas crazy or them themselves crazy, which shouldn't just be thrown around lightly. I mean, people have reputations to uphold, and some of us have been around a long time and have earned our reputation. If you don't want to believe the things that I say to you, that's fine. You don't never have to listen to them, and don't ask me for my opinion, and I won't give it to you. And I'm very fine keeping my opinion to myself. But to loosely throw around the term crazy needs to be thought about. There's some people that are really sensitive when it comes to their information and the way they're talked about and the way they're looked at. You know, Very little things can be said about them, and they bust into tears or anger, or screaming or yelling or calling the police or doing whatever amount of drama that they need to do. And always these people seem to have come from the drama world over into our world. None of these people ever start out in true crime and then ease on over to the drama world. I don't never see that happening. So what I'm wondering is why all of a sudden is the drama world seeping over into true crime? They're really not changing their habits or the way they do things. They're not helping anyone with any cases or anything. In fact, all I can see is that they're adding to the confusion, and that seems to be fun for them. I don't know, did they run out of enough drama over there in the drama section that they had to come over here? I mean, we've got some of these women showing up at Brian Laundrie's house and making an ass of themselves, and it makes us all look like fools. I would prefer when people get on and log on, they don't think of me in the same light that they think of some of these people that are doing these things.
Or a family.
Or any of you guys. I consider you guys part of our family here. And I think that what we do is important. Just like Finding Gabby, what we do here, we've done for many years, and we have helped many, many cases, you guys. Crime cases are serious, Karen, not Don's mom. Thank you for that. And there is no room for that. Not in my world, anyways. I used to like to go, let's say, for instance, to Ziggy's room. Me and David would go in the mornings because we would wake up and she would still be online. So we would go in and we would say hello and hello, family, and, just talk for a minute and leave and go do our thing. And I do my research. David would do what he does. And, we may or may not make a video and let some information, that we could let out. We would do that. But it was just a nice thing to do and see some family, and see what was going on. And if they were talking about other people or whatever, we would just leave. And normally that was the case, but it wasn't so bad. Here lately, it's become so bad that it actually affects me to be in that room. It's so negative. It's so toxic. I think that she's making changes in the positive direction. She's got rid of a lot of mods that were lying to her, blocking people that were saying truth and, calling us crazy and saying that everything that we said was a lie and telling us that we're saying things that we don't say. I have, a problem still with the fact she doesn't pay attention to what goes on in chat. Every time that I'm in that room, someone yells something derogatory and says that I've attacked Ziggy. Never once have I attacked any creator out here. If I've done it, I've done it because you've done something bad and I went after you, but you knew I was coming. I told you in person. I told you directly on a telephone or one-on-one before I ever made any video or sat on here and talked about anybody. And if I do that, I don't include my family because you guys aren't here for that. You're not here to hear me bash somebody else, or you want to hear evidence. You want to hear us talk about what's going on in the case. What have we found out? What's new? What can ease our worried minds about a little girl that's missing out here somewhere? And we want answers. Some of us sit and listen for 6, 8, 10 hours, and we're hoping for the smallest amount of evidence from one of these ladies that say they're talking to Dawn, or they've talked to Candace, or they've talked to a family member. And we think every time, or Jody Sue even, we think every time we're going to hear something. Somebody this time is going to say something, even if it's just a hint, and we'll be able to make something out of it. It'll help answer a question for us. Here lately, that's not been happening at all that I can remember. What it's turned into is I log into a room, and before I know it, I become crazy Gigi. There's that crazy Gigi with the conspiracies that Dawn's not Karen's not Dawn's mom, and the kids are not theirs, and the house is not theirs, and then you got Scott H. Right, we've debunked everything. Let me tell y'all something. They've never once debunked anything that I've ever said. Never once. Never once has anything that I've ever told y'all been debunked or discredited in any way, shape, or form. I have offered my channel. I have offered my phone number. I've offered peace in every way that I know to do so, and I am tired of doing it. See, God don't make asses for me to kiss. He makes them for you to sit the hell down when you don't know what you're doing. Some people just need to sit the hell down. Number one, they're way too sensitive in this world that we're in. In this world that we're in, we don't have time for trigger warnings or to talk about, whose feelings get hurt. There's kids out here, and we don't know where they are. There's parents and people that call themselves parents that have probably been involved. Well, all evidence points to the fact that they've been involved in something horrible. And we're supposed to uphold them or hold their hand or believe that they're a victim, and we can't target them now because they've gotten on those channels and they've gained a bunch of followers. And so now I'm not supposed to say anything about them, right? Even if they're not who they say they are, even if behind closed doors they're giving you a bunch of shit. And why is their shit so believable if I'm out here saying it's not the truth? Have you ever once decided to just go look for the truth? Instead of calling me crazy or anyone else crazy, could you just go look for yourself? Could you take 5 minutes of those 10 hours that you spent talking about who's bashing you and how damn sensitive you are and think about other people's feelings for one time, not yourself? This shit goes on and on and on, and people sit and chat, and I see them asking, where's Summer? Can we talk about Summer? And it's ignored. So I can't find room in my life for trauma, whatever it is. I can't find room for it. It's destroyed the last case, and it is well on its way to destroying this one. It's going to become a point where we are nothing but a joke. Everyone that does true crime will be a joke, just like everybody in drama is a joke. See, at least the drama channel, they're paid to be a joke. I mean, they're monetized. They get Cash App stuff. They got wish list out there. They spend their pretty much a full-time job, and they get paid to do it. We over here have always tried to make an example of the fact we don't want to make money when a child is missing. That's not what we're here for. At the very least, can't you just wait till that child's found before you throw up ads? Because what if I'm trying to research through your stuff? Because I've always said you're welcome to use mine, but what if I'm going through yours? Not that I can really anymore because I get struck for everything that I do, but what if I did? What if I needed something you had for a clue to where Summer is? But I've got to watch ad after ad almost every 5 minutes before I can just get to what I'm looking for. That one tip to try to answer a question that I have. Was that 10 cents worth it? I mean, is it? Does it have to be right now? Can't we wait? Can't we wait till she's found and we go to trial and then put all of your shit out there? Have ads all over it. I don't care. But where's the mindfulness in what we're doing out here? Where are the people that want to be selfless for just a few minutes, every day? It doesn't have to be 10 hours. It doesn't have to be 4 hours. Maybe an hour of your time where you're just selfless, where it's not about you, it's truly about Summer. And if you would spend that 5 minutes really looking into this case, what's being said, find the inconsistencies, find out who your players are. You always handle crimes the same way. You listen to the story that's been told, you gather up all of the people that are around, and then you start going through them. And when you can clear them, fine. But first, you got to clear the last people that was around the person that's missing. We have yet to be able to clear anyone that was seen around Summer Wells. In 6 months, no one's been able to clear one of these people. Now, they've been able to run around what they want to, leave town, and yes, I love Josh too, by the way, allegedly. He is my new hero. I've said that. He speaks from the heart, and I do have a lot of respect for him. He has a different kind of show. I would say that's the kind of show where you sit down and talk about things and have a heart to heart with people and try to tell people, let's be better people in this world, or this is what we should be looking at, and shares facts. But he runs that like a show. It's not like he's calling people up there to just bash people, and when I'm doxxed, I would appreciate it. Just because you were doxxed at the same time, let's not redox me for every crowd you get. It gets a little old. I'm not sensitive. You've not heard me out here bitching about it. But yeah, I've been doxxed. My parents, everything that I hold dear, people have came for it. But I'm not sensitive. It's not my first time. I'm not a little girl. Nor am I going to get on a stage and yell about it for 4 to 6 hours. But in the meantime, when you're doing that, this morning she played a video of a lady that said that she was on her show and she wanted to talk about Jackie Dobbs. And in a picture that she had found, there was a question on whether or not you could see a little girl playing in the background. And I guess while she was in there talking about it, she got bashed and told that she was the crazy Gigi. They thought she was me, the one with all of the conspiracy theories, and everybody made fun of her, and she got her feelings hurt and was really upset talking to Cher about it. So she was replaying that over again, and then she was bad-mouthing Cher for allowing it to happen, allowing someone to come on there and bash her. And all the time, I'm sitting there listening to someone talk shit about me. Never once did she say, Gigi isn't crazy. She sent me many, many emails explaining what's going on, sent her cell phone, asked me to reach out if she has any questions about my theories and how crazy I am. I helped guide her in the right direction, what was going on in her life and the real crimes that were going on behind the scenes in her room to help her out. So what she did was no different than what Cher did. And I didn't find any problem with what Cher did. Cher was talking to someone who was expressing their feelings about something that happened to him in Ziggy's room. Hey, what's wrong with that? It's not like Cher was up there pumping the girl up to bash her. It wasn't that. She was just simply saying she was mistreated in the room because of her feelings and what she wanted to talk about. I actually thought what she wanted to talk about is something we all need to talk about a little bit more. But one more time, here it goes. Crazy Gigi and her crazy theories. Well, if you're going to continue to say my theories are so crazy, please be ready to back some of that shit up with some paperwork.
Or have the right not to come over here. You got the right not to come.
Well, she didn't come over here to get that information. I actually got caught up on her panel and gave that information about
Well,
what I
just
feel
say she
about
ain't got to come in here. They ain't got to do that. They do that. Stay the hell where they want to.
But even over there, she doesn't have the right to talk about me or my family or our theories if she doesn't want to be talked about, is what I'm saying. You can't go and bash somebody and say, how dare she allow someone on her panel to talk about me? But that's what she allows to happen to me all the time.
Right.
She even does it herself and has never once apologized or tried to make it, take it back or say, I'm sorry, we don't have that evidence. I should not have said that. She has actually stood by it and doubled down on it by saying everything that I've said has been debunked. Once again, I will say nothing I have ever said has been debunked. No one once has provided any proof whatsoever that Don belongs to Karen, and I will promise you he does not. No one will provide you any evidence that any of these children belong to them, because I will almost bet my life on it they do not. The deed for that land is very much forged. The notary is very much dead. Now, what part of that are you going to say is a conspiracy that I've made up in my mind? Because every bit of that I can prove. Every single bit of what I said. I never share theories. I share what I find. I most times don't even talk on my videos. People complain about it. They say, you don't sit there and explain your videos. You just put them out. Exactly, because I feel like they speak for themselves. It's the paperwork. It is what it is. I go 3 places and I back that up with original documents. I don't share original documents out here because they can be copied and forged. And then next thing you know, next week, someone else is Karen Goad. So I do what I do the way I do it for a reason. It is not because I cannot approve exactly what I'm saying. I can. But the fact that they can't prove it, they're never asked to do that, right? Scott H comes on Ziggy's and say, yeah, Gigi, she's crazy. I've already proved Karen's his mom. Look at this, Ancestry.com. It says Karen, and under it, it says Dawn. Well, what happened to Sonia? He has a sister. They have the same mom, or so they say. Truth is, I happen to know who they are. Several of us in this room happen to know who they are, and we have not went online and doxed them like they call it. But let me tell you what doxing is. Some people seem to not know what that is. It is not doxing someone if they give out your name, your address, your phone number, or anything else that you've ever made public information. It's not. And as a creator, most of our information we put out is public, and we know that we're putting ourselves in a public situation. And I would not ask you guys to sit out here and listen to me if I was hiding things in my background that I wasn't willing to be honest about. So that is the position that I put myself in. Now, if you go use that information to target me, to attack me with it, to hurt me, keep me from getting a job, or to go to a landlord and get you kicked out of where you live at, or tell a boyfriend something so he'll drop you, or your husband will divorce you. Now, that's doxing someone. Simply telling your name, your address, who you really are in this world is not doxing anyone. Look it up. Read about it before you talk about it. I wish that people out here would actually learn about what they talk about before they continue to talk about it over and over and over. Because some people listen to you, they think that you know what you're talking about. They think you've actually done research. And if you yell to a group of 800 people that everything Gigi says has been debunked, guess what? Probably at least half of those people will believe that. Because they think you're true crime. That's what you said you were going to be. It's morphing into something that which y'all call half and half, but at the end of the day, like I said, there's no place for that half and half, because they're supposed to be able to believe what we say. If we're doing true crime, we're talking about real events that happen to someone that affects other people's lives. We are supposed to be held accountable for what we say. That's why I can't come on here and just say what I think, because it would blow up and I would get tons of subs. If I did that, I would have tons of subs, but my word would not mean shit anymore. So what right does she have to go over there and tell people that my word doesn't mean shit? Because that's all I have out here. These people out here don't know me. They're not my family. In here in this room they are, but over there when it's 700, 800, and 1,000 people, and then they get 14, 15,000 views, look at that. Look how many people think now I'm full of bullshit. I'm crazy, and everything I've said has been debunked by her, Scott H., and Mary. When it's simply not true. And I don't do drama, and I can't fall back on drama. I do one thing out here. I'm looking for a little girl. I need my word to mean something.
Well, it does to all your family members in here.
Right.
Know? Did you try to pull that link up so you
But what will it mean if it continues? If people don't get a grasp on what they're doing out there?
Well, I'm with you there, but I mean, you got your great followers. You got your great.
And I do want to say too, I've been very appreciative. Lovely Ash, you were over there, and a lot of times when it happens, my family will stand up for me and they'll say, no, Gigi's not bashing Ziggy. She's never said anything, because I haven't. Not till today. Now, mind you, this is, and I still haven't bashed her, but mind you, this is after I have reached out, I don't know how many times. Hey, Kath. I've reached out so many times that I can guarantee you I'm not sending another email. If that room explodes, I'm not sending another email. I don't report people, and I don't dox them, and I don't go and strike their videos. That only happens to me. And would it be happening to me and our small little family if I wasn't saying the truth? Does AB, Tiffany, any of them have anything to risk by me being out here? No, they didn't. But what they did have to lose was the fact that I was going to show them for what they are. And I had to walk a tightrope to do that. Look at their following, as opposed to crazy Gigi. If they'd had their way, they'd have continued going the route that they were going, and I would forever have been silenced.
And I think it's a kids game that they do strike somebody just for daggum nonsense. That's just stupidity.
And what right do they have to strike our channel for observing their chat that didn't even belong to them? I mean, it was chat off of a Ziggy thing that had went on 2 weeks before about trains and dirty kids and orgies going on at the Wells house. I mean, come on, you guys. And then they run it, the whole damn thing, 3.5 hours of it, 14,000 views now. And the whole time they're striking my channel and sending shit to YouTube saying that I'm harassing, I'm violating their privacy. Privacy? Since when do we have privacy on YouTube on a live? With AB and Tiffany and that little gang of girls, it's what's good for them is good for them, and you dare not do it, right? They own this place, or so they think. And I'm here to say no. You can close this channel and 14 other that I reopen. It won't be because of you that I leave. Just like it wasn't for you that I came.
It's just childish, man.
But I'm very sick and tired of hearing people like Tiffany Marie tell me how much they love Summer. They know absolutely nothing about her life. Nothing. Some people I don't even believe have the mental capacity to understand a case like this, much less to think like someone like Don Wells. I mean, I don't know who drops these suggestions to people that they should come over here and join true crime when they've never showed anything that would even suggest that this would be the field for them. I mean, let's just talk about it for a minute. Can somebody tell me what attributes that Tiffany has that we would need over here in the true crime world? Can someone tell me what she has contributed to this investigation? Because anybody just to cover your ass play a 3.5-hour video talking about trains coming to Ben Hill, dropping off dirty kids and having orgies and people ODing a fentanyl.
Hang on. We'll see what ICU's got to say. Y'all don't do that. So we'll see what
somebody block ICU. No, I don't have time for bullshit. You came to the wrong place. Goodbye. So anybody that would sit there and waste their time talking about a train coming through Rogersville with dirty kids, ICU, this is for you, Tiffany Marie, 3.5 hours. Jody Sue was on there trying to yell the whole time, there is not even a train nowhere near here. Tiffany Marie says, what do you mean, no train? 6 months we've been doing this. And you don't know, there's not a train. Nowhere's near that place. Not even close. And if you even attempted to try to walk the terrain for the hours it would take to get to the Wells house, which was a shack, you probably pass 100 before you get there, but you would want to go there for whatever reason, dirty kids, and that's where you're going to go to have your orgies. God bless you. I hope you brought Lysol. But what part of her brain was actually functioning at the time that we needed to waste the time for 14,000 views on a 3.5-hour video and to have a bunch of people sitting in chat that became a complete argument? Because Jody Sue's sitting there, who lives right there, and she's saying, there's no train around here. This is nothing but bullshit. Can you please stop talking about this? This is crazy. Stop playing that. None of this makes any sense. And then she gets attacked in chat just for that, right? Shut up. Shut up, Jody Sue. So what is it now? It's the people that actually know facts. We're going to shut them up. We're going to do what the hell we want to. And we're going to get our viewing hours up, because that's exactly what that is. We're going to play a 3.5-hour video just to make sure we get our viewing hours up so we can make a little bit more change. But all you did was throw more bullshit in a case of a little girl that's missing. And once again, I ask, what good did you bring to this case? That's all I want. I want legitimate proof that she brought something good to this case. Now let's go for the next person, Scott H. I am sick and tired of you sitting there saying that what I said has been debunked. Please tell me how you've ever debunked the fact that Karen is not Don's mom. She's not. She never met him in her entire damn life. And if you're so damn close, take a ride down Beach Hill and talk to some of the goats that still live there, my friend. They'll tell you. And they'll also tell you just how pissed off that they are to hear that this shit's going on. The kind of woman that she really was and the kind of man that William really was. And the fact that he doesn't deserve his legacy to be that he was the most abusive stepdaddy that ever lived. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair no matter who's doing it, and I don't care if that person that's doing it has been a victim of something in their life. It doesn't make it okay to be a bad person and do bad things to someone else. It's not okay to uphold someone that is lying. Mary Hartman, it's not okay. Well, he says he does, Teresa. I'm not sure where he lives. I haven't cared to look, but I know that he's been doxxed, so I know that his address is out there. I feel like every day we need to get on here and make a public service announcement that Karen is not Don's mom. Do I know why we can't find birth certificates to say who Don really is, even though we now know who he really is? But what you want from me, you would want a piece of paper, right, to prove it. Well, why isn't that same piece of paper requested by them over there that say that I've been debunked? Why not? Is not what's good for me good for them? Or do we just go by what they say because no one's ruined their name yet, like they're trying to ruin mine? And what good is trying to ruin my name going to be anyways for them at the end of the day? I'm non-monetized, small channel, not competing with them for anything. So what's the point in trying to ruin my name and to make me look like that I'm telling a bunch of lies, which would get us nowhere, by the way. And I want to go somewhere. I want to go on to another case where there's other kids that need us just as bad as Summer does. I want us to move on from this and to be able to move forward, not at this stagnant standstill. So even if it takes your ego to get a blow and you to realize, hey, I was wrong. Hey, do that. Grow up. Be a man. Sometimes people make mistakes. If you do shit in this world, you're going to screw up. If you sit back and watch others and make sure they make a mistake, now you might not ever make one. Now that's people like Tiffany Marie and AB. You know, make sure that they get you on video making your mistake and announce it to the world so they can make fun of you. And then that's their live stream and that's their money for the day. But I know I'm going to make mistakes, even though I try to check my work 3 or 4 times before I ever even talk to you guys about it. But what I also can't do is I also have to do things legally and the right way. You know? And I also take slander in people's names a lot more serious than other people do around here, it seems like. And Karen, that's also my point. What is the point in wasting so much time with this case? It reminds me almost exactly like how the boys' case went in Bakersfield. Started going around and around in circles when the true actual facts of what's going on, you guys, in this case are more exciting and there's more twists and turns than any fiction or movie or anything you could ever write is really going on right now and has went on for 6 months. And the truth of the situation is enough to keep you glued to this computer for hours and hours and hours every day that you could log in. Trust me, it keeps me awake almost constantly. I sleep very little, 3 to 4 hours a night, because my mind is on all of the fascinating things that are going on in this case. Emre, are you trying to talk about Griff? Griff from the Resurrected Griff? You guys may not know, a long time ago, I used to use the tag Carolina Adventures, and it's okay. I'll cancel one of them. It's one that I had to do earlier.
That's probably why you can't do the link, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, go to one and end one. Are y'all seeing it 2 lives out there when y'all look on these? But what I was going to say about Griff, when he started that channel, I used the tag Carolina Adventures. I would go over there every time he put a video up and watch it, and always, leave him love out there on his channel, and, try to guide him in the right directions. And when he started going down the wrong path, I would say, hey, I've been out here a long time. Watch out what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, what is happening out here, guys, is as new people come on board, we're just not seeing the real them for a while. I mean, I think that they're able to hide who they are for a little while, and then when they can't anymore and the true them comes out, we see it, and then we feel like we've been taken. We feel stupid. We feel, I can't believe I didn't see that. I can't believe I didn't see that person was like that. I really thought that they was a good person. And we discover they're not. They're not out for the right things, and they are just simply out to do destruction. And I've never really seen a case where grown-ups went out to destroy a case as bad as I've seen these last 2 cases. In the real world, if people like that functioned in society, I don't think that life would be so kind to them. I guess they better be glad there's a block and mute button out here. In the real world, if you live near my house and you were doing that stuff about a little kid and claiming you know where she is and she'll be home in a few days and shit like that, if that was my granddaughter missing and you dared play some prank like that or said something like that when you didn't know that it to be a fact, like, to me, unless I laid eyes on Summer myself, I would never come out here and play with someone's emotions like that. And how dare anybody do that? That's never a joke. There's no place for that in society. And there is a little thing called karma. And one other thing, when anybody comes from my family the way that Benny came for Griff's and then they become friends, see, there's no place in my world for you to be my friend after you talk about my kids and my grandkids and my spouse the way that I heard them be talked about. You might as well turn in your man card and walk away, because that was horrendous. You don't go back. You may go back and tolerate each other, put up with each other's shit, but do you really become best friends? And all of a sudden y'all believe the same things and y'all don't disagree on anything anymore? I mean, they agree on everything. I mean, I'm starting to wonder who actually runs the channel. Who's the puppet and who's the puppet master? I mean, I'm sure they got their direction they're heading in, and I know it's all about money, and I see the merch and blah, blah, blah. It's so distasteful. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. In fact, I wouldn't suggest that anybody walk around with that merch on. Not in North Carolina or Tennessee. Just for your own personal, bad idea. But what I would like to say, like I said, I think you need to pick a lane and get in it. And if you want to continue to talk about people, then expect to be talked about. Don't be so damn sensitive. And as far as I'm being crazy, if you keep saying it, please back it up with some paperwork, because I'm sick of the damn, just the lip action. It's old. It's wore out. Can we move on? And if not, hell, at least find another topic. You've run that shit in the ground. And just because you're doxxed, I'm not ever here crying about the fact I was doxxed, so could you please quit playing mine over and over too? I mean, it's ridiculous. I'll worry about what goes on with me over here. Never ask you to fight my battles. Pretty much really appreciate it if you keep my name out of your mouth. I mean, I like also how when you view my stuff over there, you give me credit and you say, hey, here's Gigi's link if y'all like to go over there and sub and see what she's talking about. No, you just make sure you tell them I'm crazy and I've got a bunch of crazy conspiracies and everything's been debunked. Sounds like somebody's trying to shit on somebody's channel. But I'm sure you're not going to see it the same way. You know, if you even take time to listen to this or read any of the other 10 emails I've sent, or 100 probably that came from my family here, Ziggy. We reached out, we've tried until we don't intend on trying anymore. It's exhausting. It's repetitive. It's childish. It's old. I'm bored. Can we move on? If not, let's turn it up a notch. That way we get to the point and we can get it over with. You know, at least over there in the drama, that's what they do. We don't sit here going around in circle going blah, 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 blah. Turn it up a notch and let's get to it, or let's just drop it. Wolf Lover, welcome. And I don't know if you have another tag or not, or what happened to you prior, or who did what, but we did have some problems that we have tried to resolve in the mod area, and we're still going to be working on that, you guys. You may notice wrenches coming and going or whatever. Don't take it personally when they do. There's just things going around. Tags have gotten copied. Things that I've got to sort out in the toolbox over here. So when that happens, like I said, always shoot me an email. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Don't think that it's ever personal, because it never is. It's also not about where you guys go or what channels you watch. In fact, I can't tell you that I dislike any creator out here. Well, if you're a creator, I don't consider BK a creator, so let's don't do that. I also don't consider Griff a creator. I mean, at one time he was creating some funny things, making some memes. My granddaughter's over here yelling. But we'll take care of it, Wolf Lover. Anyways, everybody said good things about you when I brought it up in text and we talked about it. Shh, you can't talk. They can hear everything you say. So, quiet on the set. So I don't dislike any creator, and I do the same thing you guys do. I go to every channel all the time, especially if anybody's saying Don Wells, Candace Wells, or Summer in the title. I'm there. I mean, I don't dislike any of them. I'd work with any of them. Any of them that had any single one of them that had information on this case. I tell you one I would especially work with, and this might piss several of you off. I would work with Cher. I would sit there and do research with Cher. Now, me and her might not agree on how we handle things. She runs her channel the way she does. I run my life the way I do. I don't expect anybody to be the same. And the good thing about this world is there's enough room in this world for all of us and the way we handle things. And most of you are not going to like my attitude or personality or the things I choose to do. And what's great is you've got somewhere else to go. You've got other choices. If we were to shut everybody down that we dislike, there would be nobody out here to listen to, you guys. There'd be nowhere to go. So just because I might handle something differently than another creator might handle it, doesn't make me against that person. You know, maybe if I don't like their morals, it might keep me from doing, like, bringing them over to my house, hang out with my kids, but it definitely would not stop me from working with them out here on YouTube. Yeah, exactly, Everybody, like who you like, go where you want to go, and whatever they're covering that day, believe me, it does not affect me. That's not what I'm looking for, or what is going on with us here with our wrenches and stuff. This is just simply how we work together, timing, who's got hours, what times. I mean, there's so many different things that go into it, you guys. It's definitely not about personalities or who I like or dislike or who you guys follow. I will never, ever be the kind of person that does not want you to like somebody that I don't like. Or if I've got a problem with them today, you have a problem with them forever. No, please don't, because I may get over it next week and you may not. So I would not want you to do that at all. And true crime shining light, you're right. Cher Well, you're wrong. Somebody is over there starting to do some research, obviously, because I've been getting a lot of calls, telling me to check on Cher. And I have not tuned in to Cher for quite some time, I've got to say. And I want to say it's not really probably because of nothing she did. Have you ever felt like if you hear someone bashed for so long, you start to feel like you've got to feel like they do, even if you really don't? I mean, just because everybody feels that way, you feel like, well, they must see something. Because, see, I don't get to tune in often to listen to other people's stuff because usually I'm doing research and I don't even have time to create videos, and I have a lot going on in my house. So when someone tells me that she's covering something good, I definitely want to hear it. I want to go over there and see what's going on. But I haven't seen anything really that would make me dislike her personally. But for some reason, I can feel that feeling inside of me that I don't care for her, even though I don't know nothing about her personally. And I think that could be, a result of how much you hear someone bashed on the other channels you go to. You start feeling like, well, to fit in, I've got to feel that way too, when maybe you really didn't, you know? Because, I mean, I got to admit, when I'm over at Doug's or something and they're playing that Shut Up Cher song, I like that song. I think it's catchy, and I really want one that says, like, Donnie, you dummy, or something, and it's funny. In fact, allegedly, I know you're on here somewhere. Maybe you can make me one. But it's just catchy, and it catches on, and you catch yourself feeling that way and fitting in with the group, and you start saying it too. When if you really sit and think about it, though, do you have a reason to feel that way as a person? No, I really don't. I mean, she ain't really done anything to me. I don't like how she handled everything the way she did. I did mine differently, but so what? My opinion's like an asshole. Everybody has it, and they pretty much all stink. That's just the way life is. I don't want her to change and become more like me. I mean, that's the point in having different personalities and different people out here. That's what happened. Bird pie. Yeah, it does, September Burger. I want to sit there and type that, and even though I feel like, well, what if she was in the room watching that? It does make me think. Because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, like, out of shits and giggles. I don't think that's ever a good thing to start feeling like, feeling cool about. I always want to be mindful about other people's feelings and try to be sensitive to that. Even if I don't agree with what they've done, I want to try to be respectful when we speak. I mean, it wasn't too long ago when Savannah Smiles was up here and we were talking, and she had her feelings hurt someone else, and another creator came in here, and I felt like I was in a war. The creator was right on edge and screaming, and you know, I was going out of my way to be nice. And even if I don't know the whole situation or I don't agree with what you did, I'm going to try to be nice and try to get my feelings across to you and hope that we can meet somewhere in the middle. But sometimes we can't, and we part our ways, and that's just how life goes. It doesn't mean we hate each other. It just means we're not going to be best friends. And it's not a big deal. But some people come on here and they think that if they're ever found wrong in something, or we don't like the way they feel about something and we want to address it, it's an attack. But it's not an attack. Maybe it's a discussion. Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe you don't have to go from zero to grab a gun. Can somewhere in the middle we have a conversation and we just say, hey, what you said kind of hurt my feelings? And they say, okay, I'll try a little harder. That would be the nice world that I want to live in, the one I felt like we used to live in, the 80s and 90s. And then if you didn't like it, you really was pissed off, you punched him right in the nose. But probably a week or so, y'all were best friends. You got over it. Nobody was dead. Nobody was killed, maimed, missing no limbs. It wasn't shut out from the world, and their YouTube channel shut down. People got over it. They went on. But everybody's so damn sensitive nowadays, man. You can't say anything. You can't talk to nobody. You can't have a conversation. And vocab skills are getting slim to none. I mean, there's a lot of yelling and screaming and cursing, but there's not real talking going on. And I want to open us up to conversation around here, guys. I want to start having an open panel where we can talk about our feelings and really talk. Not talk at each other or yell, and not talk about violence or I'm hurt, but whatever, address these issues, talk them out, get everybody together and talk them out. Because if that would have happened one time in some of these issues, they would be long gone. You don't have to get 7 people on your panel to attack one person. You can get that person and then the other person, and then y'all can have a conversation if you let both of them speak, which sometimes does not happen. You'll get your mic muted, stuck backstage, or whatever the true objective they have going on at the time. We can be different over here, guys. We can have different mods that run it. They have the open discussion. They're nice. Names are picked. We get up, we discuss things, problems somebody said. We always see people say things in other rooms that hurt our feelings or affect us, and we want them called out for it, or we want to ask, why, or did I take that wrong? Because you can't get everybody's emotion behind the keys of a keyboard. The way you're saying things might not be the way that it seems. There's a lot that can be misconstrued between a text and what you actually meant. And I believe a lot of creators nowadays have stopped trying to be critical thinkers. Yes, there is. Might be, when I'm mad, I get very upset because my mouth, my mom would pop it. So I've been having to get my mouth straightened out too. But I only do it when I'm mad. And Merp's around, I definitely really try not to do it because I think her first word was like shit or something. It wasn't good. And I realized that every time she went to the bathroom, I think I was calling it that. Or I was saying that. I was like, did you shit? When I should have been saying, like, did you poop? So, yeah, it was my fault. I'm just not thinking. A lot of times we do things like that. We make mistakes just because we weren't thinking. It's not like I was out to get you and I meant to say something super ugly about you. Maybe we just weren't thinking at the moment. Like, I'm sure that a lot of things that Ziggy's done that's hurt my feelings, she just wasn't thinking about how her words may be affecting me and what I was doing over here, because it does. If you discredit everything that I say and you say you've debunked it, but you haven't. Not one thing. It hasn't been. None of it. So you're leading people the wrong direction in a case we need everybody that we can get going in the right direction, because this case is twisted, you guys. Now, yeah, I heard the news earlier that Hunter's father came out and spoke and said that he did not know where Hunter was, but that Hunter had been working with the FBI and there should be arrest warrants sent out next week. Well, I have an opinion on that, you guys. My opinion on that is they wouldn't tell us if they were. Who's going to give this bunch a prior warning of an arrest? No one. They're just going to come for them. But there's so much shit going on in Hawkins County that we could talk about, you guys, and I want to start talking about that. Maybe we have nights that we talk about the corruption in Hawkins County. And what's stopping them from doing the right thing? What's stopping them from taking care of Don Wells, his DUIs, allowing him to drive around that town and not doing anything about it? I'll get back to that. Might be his dad, Hunter's dad, came out and said that he had been working with the FBI, but he did not know his current location, or he sounded to me like he just was not going to tell us, and I don't blame him for that. I wouldn't tell anybody where he was either, but I would hope that he is. And they also said that they think that Hunter had his phone back from TBI, which he probably did. He probably does. I mean, I heard that their software, you could just put it on there and download it one day. So I don't even know why they kept it this long. Yeah, and Emre, that's another thing. Think about it. We've got elections coming up soon, and we've had other bodies and other kids and Just like baby Joe Clyde Daniels' body is not be found because they have reward funds and this stupid shit with reward funds that expire. And we've got notaries running around that are dead but stamping land deeds that don't belong to them. And we've got shit going on, you guys, that we could talk about for days. And this guy's fixing to run for re-election again. Now, there's true things that need to be said and talked about, things people need to hear. And we don't need people thinking that you can't come here for the truth. No one opposes him usually when they run. It's usually just him. Only one. And we got the mayor leaving. He's not even going to come back. And some of the names that we're looking at, stuff we've investigated, half the people that are dirty as hell is sitting on the board of commissioners. How about we do something about that so this shit stops? Because there's not just reward funds for missing kids that is missing. What about the adults? There's adults that are still missing out there. And then they'll find remains, but then they don't come back and ever tell you who it was. Do you guys remember several months ago that they shut down the whole highway and they found human remains off the side of the road? And it was like an hour away. And they've yet to release who that person was. And it's almost on a weekly basis they find human remains in Hawkins County. Now, maybe it's me, but I can't think of another county in Tennessee that has this much damn human remains found in different locations. There was an elderly lady not long ago. Her body was just found in the river, laying on the bank, and she had been missing for 90 days. Something is going on. Something stinks to high heaven. I can smell it all the way over here at my house, and it's spreading like a disease. It's corruption. It's money. It's dirty men and their dirty habits. There's plenty of proof, and we need to start flicking it out there for everybody to see. That place is becoming unsafe, you guys. Unsafe on a level because you've got the SDA coming in, trying to take over. Now they're not even meeting up at the church. Trust me, when I said I went and sat in that parking lot all day on Don's birthday, I did. I left them a very nice Google review over there on their Facebook page. Y'all can go and see. I sat there all day. And in their mailbox, there was wads of Summer's missing posters in it. And I could tell no one had been there in quite some time. Because guess what? They're not meeting there anymore. Not that place doesn't just look like a front for a movie set anyways. They don't meet at that church. Now, where do they meet now? Somebody's basement? Somebody's house? Where are they at? I'm going to need to know with these people, too, at that church. They need to take down every video they have of children. You know why? Because they need to hide it. Because those are almost every one of those criminals in that church have been convicted of things that have to do with children. Almost every one of them. And what you have to do is you basically have to use facial recognition software in order to figure out the who's who. And now they're hiding wherever the hell they're hiding. And now we need to find out where that is. We also need to find out where in the hell is Ethan Wise and where's Jackie Dobbs, because those two guys got a lot of explaining to do. And who's hiding them? Why aren't they made to come forth when the FBI sent out a notice that said, I am looking for the driver of this 1998 to 2000 red Toyota Tacoma with a full ladder rack? And then we have Ethan Wise, kin to Jackie Dobbs, also kin to Sharon Hensley, Billy Hensley, the Trents, on and on. That Ethan Wise, who said his truck was a 91, he changed that on TikTok, but it was a 98. They didn't even start making that type of truck till 95. So I'd already done my homework before I got bashed because the tag says 91. But can someone just look it up? Toyota didn't make it till 95. So it was a 98, according to the information. Run the tag, get the VIN, blah, blah, blah. You can do your homework. Tell you the color it was made in, the year it was made, and on and on. Anyways, I know what I'm talking about. But not only that, I also asked the person that I know seen it. That was an elderly man. Does not get on YouTube. Was this the guy? Yes. On the 14th. Yes. So, Do I 100% know that it is the right truck, the right guy, the right day? Yes, I do. Now, how many times do I got to pound that in somebody's face? I know what I'm talking about. So why the hell hasn't he been brought in? Why haven't we been sent a notice that says we're no longer looking for that red truck? Yeah, September Virgo, send it on to me. I would love to have it. We can't find him. I mean, I know where his mom and dad's. I mean, I think I have. Actually, might not have to send that. I think I do have his mom and dad's info. We've tried that route, but I don't see anything on where is he. But he has plenty of places he can hide because none of these people are using their real names. PSA, Karen is not, I repeat, not Don's mom, which is the least of our worries. But on the other hand, if you live in Tennessee or any of the surrounding areas, it should be one of your biggest worries because they are coming for you. They are coming to a town near you, and they are planning to do the same thing that they are doing right now, but on a much bigger scale. They have a new time frame. You know, Lori Vallow's time frame when she killed JJ and Tally. You know what that was? That was last year, right? We went right by that one. So she's had to make a bunch of calls down to the church to find out, well, what in the hell happened there, you know? Something went wrong. My date flew right by me and I'm still here. Well, they've got a new date, guys. And by the looks of these kids going missing, that new date's fast approaching in their eyes. All they can talk about is the resurrection and this big second coming, and they don't believe in the same God that you and I do, trust me. They believe that God was sent here to do a number of tasks, actually, and he was a failure. He failed. So the new prophet, the new Messiah, the one that they think will be the great one to bring about the apocalypse, because at the end, this is what they want. They want to do whatever it takes to bring about the end of the world so they can have a second coming and all of their relatives can be raised from the grave. But in fact, they're already doing that shit. You know how? The same identities over and over and over and over. They're bringing them back from the dead, all right. Maybe not the way we thought that they would, but trust me, they've tried that too. And they truly believe that they can do that. Don't mistake them for thinking that they think that they're just bringing them back from the dead because they're using identities. No, no, no. Trust me, they believe they can pray over your body and bring you back from the dead. So all their loved ones, all their true warriors out here that have been wronged and are not here anymore, they're coming back. They're going to bring them back. They're going to pray over their body and bring them back. This is how sick they are. They believe whoever that is upstairs, the one that they don't worship, makes a whole lot of mistakes. You know? He don't know when you should be born. He don't know when you should die. He doesn't know anything. He's creating weak kids that they need to get rid of because those are zombies and they're not strong enough to fight in the battle of the 144,000 alongside of Israel. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you just fart?
No.
JG's live. They ain't here.
I said that right before she just asked me on live if I farted. And I don't know where that came from, but who did it the other day? Ryder asked me that too. Gotta love kids. She busted in the room to ask me that. So these are their beliefs, you guys. Then we've seen this video come out the other day with Robin and this new prayer sister that she has sitting in the car with her. And I started to just look at Robin at this point because nothing that she says is going to be the truth. She's not going to tell us the truth.
I'll shoot the bullet under the tree.
I mean, every time she says something about how long she's known this family, you guys, it's more bullshit. Every time. Now, why would you lie? Why would you lie, first of all? But before I get there, let's just talk about what she looked like sitting in that car with the girl talking about their feelings about Donna, and I might mispronounce her name. Serena? Is that how you pronounce it? Twister, you deserve to be in the corner, as usual. Don't be taking notes. They wanted to read us a bunch of scripture and tell us why that we should not believe in Donna Serapino and any other psychic and how evil that was. Now, everything that they read, maybe it was just me, but it was a lot of hidden messages and blah, blah, blah shit about pretty much doomsday. But more than what she was saying, because like I said, a lot of that just starts sounding like after a while. It was the look on her face, and when she rolled her eyes back in her head and shaking her head, I was wondering, was she hypnotized? Was she high? What exactly am I seeing right there? This is not normal behavior of a normal person that functions out in society. It's just not normal. I mean, this girl changes like a chameleon. I mean, I watch her sitting in her videos with guns, holding them against her chest, and what a badass she is. And then she speaks like she's a mouse and gets in trouble. I mean, maybe it's me, but something's going on. It's not making any sense to me. Who is she really? It sounds like she is going to be whatever she thinks we want her to be at whatever time she decides to make a video. 1 minute it might be the pastor's touchy-feely. Well, yeah, I bet he is. Fat bastard. Anyways. Or tomorrow it might be, I just met Summer, don't really know this family. Next week it might be, I've known Summer for years. You know? But I'm going to tell you what I see. And like I said, I'm crazy any damn way, so it doesn't matter. But Summer looks a lot like Robin. A lot. And there was some attachment there. And I don't believe it was all just in Summer's head. You know, children don't attach themselves so tightly around strangers. You know, parents either have to condone that or push that relationship or something in order for that to be going on. My parents would have put a halt to it and pulled back and said, you know, hey, you're a little over the top with that. But for some reason, that's not what we've seen going on here. We've seen a push towards there to be a more and more strong bond between them, and one that was non-existent with her real mother, or who she says is her real mother now. You know how I feel about that. I made it real clear, and you can sue me if you want, Wells family, but none of those kids belong to Candace. None. Now, that's slander if I'm wrong, and you're welcome to take me to court. At some point in your life, when you do as many drugs and go through as much things with the system, I'm pretty sure some people had some control in what went on with you and your birthing habits. But anyway, I'd be glad to be proved wrong. Somebody can bring a document or, you know, even a doctor bill. Shit, I'll look at that. You don't even have to have a birth certificate.
Go in there and Papa's room.
But I heard Jody Sue talking about it the other night, said that she'd never seen Candace pregnant, but all of a sudden she brought a car seat home one day. And that the neighbors were talking about it. Oh no, another kid, because they had not been taking care of the ones that they had already. And here comes another one into the family. And they had been bringing groceries there and everything. And they're wondering, well, how the hell does this happen? And it's funny because the real first pictures that any of us see are all when she's at least 3 or 4 months old. None of us see her as a newborn baby. None of us see Candace pregnant, and Candace loves a camera. She really does. And I don't know if you guys know about SDA, LDS religion, but they do have their own birthing centers. They don't really believe in birth control, and they don't believe in birth certificates, and they don't give a damn who your real mom and daddy is. They're not concerned. They do kind of care who sires you, and that's their words, not mine. Sire. Men sire babies. So I guess that makes women breeders, like cows. There's no difference in a group of milk cows and the ladies in that congregation, not in the eyes of the men there. But because their end days is so near, just like Lori Vallow, the weak are not considered to be as important as the rest. They've got a tight ship here, and there's only 144,000 that can fit in it, and they better be strong warriors. So not to mention our women only just for your amusement and abuse. Then we have, if you're weak or sickly or maybe born with some, problems. Who knows why you have them, but sometimes we're all born with different issues. So what if you're born a female with learning disabilities also? So then you're where? You're at the very bottom of the list, right? You're the weakest of the weak. You're the first one they're going to pick off. There is no room for you. If you ever raised a group of pigs, you know how they pick out the weak ones? Pretty fast. They just weed them right out. And there's no emotion. They don't care. They're having 5 more right behind them, right? I mean, let's just really look at these kids. Is there a time when someone there is not pregnant or having a baby? Someone in that church up there is always pregnant. They are constantly having babies, or at least babies are being delivered. There is a stork coming. They're on their way. You call it SDA church and ask their religion and ask if they have a birthing center. They do have birthing centers. I can direct you to where some of them are. The runt of the litter, exactly. The weakest among them. And sometimes even say you have twins, for instance, right? Maybe you have a boy and a girl, and they look exactly the same, and you have a wealthy family, and one of them is going to be a pastor, and you need to make him look like all the other pictures we see where the pastor's sitting in the chair, the 4 or 5 kids are standing behind him, and, they're just the white old man, the old LDS preacher. How many of those pictures have you guys seen? A lot, because I have. When I study all these Facebook posts and pages that they're all friends with each other, it's almost as if that's part of the religion. You must add a Facebook and friend each other because they're all connected. All of them on Facebook. And they will create one. If they're missing one for one day, you guys, they will go make another one. It's crazy. But if you want to know how their life is going, how they're living, you can go to Facebook and find them any time of the week. They're going to be there. They have to make sure. John Deere Country Girl, don't say that. You're going to make me laugh. If I move in the chair, one of the kids are going to yell it. So, something is going on. If we have this many kids and this many pictures, and you've got 2 strong kids, well, 2 twins, right? One of them's a boy, one of them's a girl, born at the same time, look exactly alike, identical. The preacher, pastor's family, bishop, whoever he says he is, the next big thing. He says he wants, another strong kid for his group that he's going to look like he sired. And you send the strong one over there, and then that leaves that one weak one, right? That nobody seems like they want. So before they get to a certain age and understand what's going on and wonder why they don't have like a mom or dad, or they get too attached to you, you got to hurry up and find them somewhere to go. So if everybody else in your congregation is already raising several kids, you give them to just whoever will take them, right? Whoever raises their hand. Because she isn't one of your strong ones anyways, right? Wasn't one of the ones you had prepared for the battle. It wasn't what you want to be proud of and pretend like it's yours, so you don't care. That's what we have going on here. We have a group of people calling themselves working under the name of religion, and they're picking and choosing what they believe to be acceptable in the world they want to invent. Just enough girls for breeders. 2 week, you gotta go. If you're a boy and you've got a problem, well, you're a zombie. It's only their chosen ones, the ones that fit in their little square. Those are the ones that are allowed to live. Those are the ones that have any value whatsoever for life. This is that religion. This is the religion that's coming to your neighborhood to take over your schools, to make sure you don't ask for birth certificates or shot records. They are in your PTA program. They are taking your land. They are moving in next door, and they have a clean criminal history, or one you can't find, because that's what the hell they do. They've gotten to a point now that they control the entire backgrounds. They control all of our records. It is the biggest database in the world, and they run it. And when I said, bring me proof of who you are, hell, it was pretty much, I thought in my mind they were going to go get it, because it's actual truth. They can make it look any way they want to. They do homeschool their kids, and they also have schools of their own that they run, where they teach their kids what you say and what you can't say. So say your child's already being abused at whatever age they're at. Well, they're not going to go to a public school anymore, or things are talked about like that. They'll go to the church school, where they say that it is okay that your uncle's touching you, because that's the way we do business. You may be marrying him next week. But what is it with our government that we allow that to be called a religion? What the hell is wrong here? That's not a religion. Anybody that makes it okay to abuse kids, to hide records, to hide criminal backgrounds, to steal land and give it to other people because they claim that they came here first, so that makes it theirs, and they're not stealing. This is just justification in their minds, but they're still doing evil. They're still breaking our laws, and they're only using the word religion to cover up what they're doing and to make it where we can't go do shit about it, and they don't have to pay taxes. It's not a religion. Hell, they'll even tell you what they think about God. And I'm with you allegedly the same way. I have no use for it. I believe that God, my creator, whatever you want to call him, you're whoever in this world, me personal feelings is he made me the way that I am. And he must have liked me the way that I am, or he wouldn't have made me this way, because he don't make mistakes. He don't make junk. Look at everything he created. It works perfectly. If we leave it alone, it'll take back over and it'll fix itself. Stop messing with the building over there. And in the end, nature will take back over and it will fix itself. And it's beautiful and it's a wonderful thing. And we don't need to screw with everything. We don't need a law for everything. We don't need a law for stupidity. We just need people to stop doing wrong. And when things are morally wrong, they're wrong. You know that it's wrong. When a child's not old enough to even understand the difference between love and affection and the different kinds of love, you're wrong. You're manipulating the feelings of another. Now, I've watched shows where they try to make it understandable so that we can grasp what pedophilia is, right? They're going to tell us that it's not as bad as we think it is, because we don't understand that children have the capacity to love too. Yes, they do. They do. I agree. And I agree that maybe there's times in your life that you can't help who you fall in love with. I will agree to that too. But see, the one thing that I will never agree with is that you are always in control of yourself, right? So if you truly loved a child, now if that's what you're going to tell me, and that's the reason that you're a pedophile, because you fall in love with children and you can't help that, well then why hurt them? Why put your hands on them? Why that need? Because if you loved that child, you didn't have to touch that child. No good ever came out of that. That's not true love. It's lust. It's self-satisfaction. It's sickness. And it's selfishness. That's not love. So people that try to justify that shit, they just make me angry. It's disgusting. There's no right in that. Yes, you can fall in love. You can love. I love children that are not mine too. I love them. I love Summer. I would probably stay if I seen her right now today and there was a car coming. I probably would. I know that I would jump out in front of that car to try to save her. Twister, definitely. They've been in the background. I don't know how they inched up on us like this and we didn't notice that they was all up on us like this. You know? It's like we blinked our eyes and looked, they're everywhere. The amount of land that they bought, well, not bought. Nobody's bought anything, by the way. They just steal what they want. You know, all this money that they're talking about that they have so they can go get some more loans at some more banks and shut some more bankruptcy, spread a little more bankruptcy around everywhere, right? Go on to the next name that they're going to use. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Everyone. Every name that's come up in this case is full of shit. Every one of them. You open the back door for me? There's not one character in this whole bunch that has any kind of moral standing inside of them. Not one. And because we have a government over there in Hawkins County that's just as dirty, and they've allowed this to go on for this long, and their hands are just as dirty, well, what's the odds that it's not going to take everything that we have to push them to do something about what's going on? So we can count about 90 ways to Sunday that Donwell should be in prison. I can count several ways that Candace should be too, and we don't even want to start talking about Rose's case today, but we will. The facts are there, the evidence are there, keeps getting overlooked, and I think that I know why. A little word called fear.
Look behind the box right there.
It's one thing that I've always been told I don't have enough of. Fear.
Right here. Right beside of you. No, look, right here. Right there, yeah.
Because I know one thing's going on here lately where I live is that I get advertisement and ads run on my TV every day about the abuses going on in the SDA church. Now we find out, watching shares information the other day, they shared some good information where they're doing actual drills for missing kids. So they're planning for them to disappear, right? You know what that's all about. You'll get immune to it. You'll hear it so much it won't be such a big deal. Your kids will start practicing children just vanishing, and they won't know, is this just a drill or did my best friend just get gone? That's their words, right? Get gone. We're going to have drills on kids getting gone. Because as days go by and the time keeps ticking away and they get closer and closer to their end game, I'm sure more and more kids are going to get gone, right? But if you're immune to it, you've heard it enough, and there's enough shit thrown in on this case, it'll just become just another thing. We've all heard it before. No one wants to do it again. We don't care. That's where we'll get if we keep going down this road that we're on. We will stop caring. It will become an everyday occurrence. The kids in those classes up there will be immune to it, and you will just see people walking in, taking them out, and they will be gone. And then who will know? Was it a drill? Was it not a drill? I mean, where did the kid go then? Or when did they get gone? Was it when everybody was in their designated hiding spots and no one's seen anything? I mean, believe me, the people planning these drills know exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to use them to benefit them. I mean, who makes these kind of rules? We got to have a drill for missing kids. How about we just have a drill for stupidity and get us ready for that? And let's have another drill, Hawkins County, about why in the world do we have expiration dates on missing children's cases or reward funds? Why would you ever make somebody like Don Wells look right about something? I mean, he's right about this one. A reward fund for a missing child that expires, right? So if I don't find your missing child, then I get paid for it, like a reward for not finding her. Not finding Joe Clyde Daniels, right? I'm sure his reward fund expired at some point. Somebody has it. Somebody got to benefit from that. You know, it was the biggest missing person case before this one. I'm sure its reward fund was pretty big too. Where'd it go? It expired, right? Who got it? We've seen where Carly Trent's reward fund was divvied up right out there. Checks were handed out in Hawkins County. You guys were dumb enough to tape that. But what I also didn't like is the way the news there spun that story around about where she was found at. Makes me really worry about what the truth was behind that. You know, as that child gets older, I hope that she's willing to share a little bit more about what actually went on during that time. Because it's very curious that you would say things like she was found in a wooded area on a private lot by some men on a four-wheeler and blah, 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 and all the crazy things we were hearing on those videos when that was not the truth. Why would you not have just come out and said that Donnie Lawson found Carly Trent in his building on his private property? Why not? What the hell are you hiding? When you go to lie, it just tells me you're hiding something. Because that's where he found her. Why didn't he just say, I found her in my building? Because he could have got the whole reward fund. And it would have been fine, right? You would think. In a normal situation, it would have been okay. So why the need to spin it and make it look so damn sketchy and then take part of the reward fund and then give part to your brother and then part to the rest of the people that want sons so they'll shut up too? None of that makes no sense. Why couldn't you just say, I found Carly Trent in my building on my property. They gave you the reward fund, which you didn't want of it. Donate it to your brother. Donate it to somebody else. None of this makes any sense the way y'all got the news to spin that story. It makes it look so sketchy. And why is it that every time something goes on around there about kids or missing persons or something, it's something so crazy? It's just not normal stuff, right? We don't just have people that go missing and then we find them or we find their body or something happened to them. It's always a crazy story. Like, this guy's been missing for 10 years, but now we've found his burned body in a car. It's stories like that. Or, you know, we've had this guy missing for all these years and there's his skull sitting on this man's fireplace, and someone walked in and said, you know, hey, you might want to go have that checked out, make sure that's not a real skeleton. And then, oh, it just happened to be a missing person that's been missing for a long time. You know, every story that we get is something so incredible coming out of that county. If we get anything, it's a crazy story. It's not just a normal story. I mean, I would love to tell y'all some of the other stories that went on back in the day. I mean, some of the stories between the state troopers and the lights and the federal investigations and these guys that went to jail and who was involved in what, and the fights that broke out afterwards, and the gunfights that went on Beach Hill, and all these things that we can talk about that went on, that go on there. It's just not normal. It's like the out west or something, man. It's not normal. It's really not. It's like the good old boys club down there having a free for all, and if they want to hold you accountable, they will. But if they don't, like Don Wells with a DUI, you can walk right out, drive your car away, and no one's going to do shit about it. Wow. So I know where some vacant land is over in Hawkins County. I wonder if I can come over there and live just as lawless as everybody else does. Maybe if I grease the right pockets, right? Because I'm sure it doesn't seem like everybody gets away with everything. I mean, hell, the lights look like every time they move, they get took to jail. Right? You have a group that constantly stays in trouble, and you guys are probably sitting there thinking, well, those are probably just troublemakers. Nah. Actually, one of the lights used to live on that property. They started out as a state trooper. That family started out on a good track. And their story would actually take some more of a Hatfields and McCoys type twist to it. There's just a lot of bad blood. Twister, you looking for some land? Well, I'm a notary, and I'm a live one. I can help you out. $10 is usually the going rate. You know, out in public. Catch me outside. So, what's really going on? Are the lights really just, bad seeds? They just do a lot of wrong? Or is there bad blood there? I'm going to tell you for a fact there's bad blood there. And there's bad blood there for a reason. But if you're caught in a place where there's no one to speak for you and everyone is corrupt and everyone is out to shut you up, then where do you go to have a voice? Well, I would like them to come here and have a voice. So, I plan to reach out to them. I want to hear the side of all the bad people in Hawkins County. All the ones taking the raps for everything, getting locked up for DUIs and held for 2 or 3 days at a time. I want to know how they feel about watching Don Wells walk around Beach Creek. I want to know. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a phone, and we are going to have call-in nights. We are going to have a phone that anybody can dox. Give the phone number out to anybody you want to, especially if they're in Hawkins County, because I want to hear from them. I want to find out why it's okay to lock people up and why it's not okay, to let these guys sit up here on this hill and act like they're little Christian people that haven't done no wrong. Because I literally have seen her give beer and cigarettes to minors, not just two other little boys. Okay? Probably not 14, 15 years old. She's yet to be called to the carpet for that. Now, if you or I give cigarettes or alcohol to a minor, trust me, we're going to have a day in court. It might be their word against yours, and there might not even be video evidence that looks like it pretty much catches you watching that boy throw away alcohol, and you would have had to buy it because you're the only one 21. So, why is everything they do okay? Why is it okay for Don to drive around with no license, or why in the hell should he even have a driver's license? Because I know, in fact, he's had multiple DUIs. Multiple. When I say multiple, I mean multiple DUIs. I don't know how much time he's facing for this one, but I'm going to say it should be quite a bit. And why weren't his license taken immediately when he refused to blow or had to go take blood or whatever? I mean, your license would be. What did I do? He literally drove away. No kid, no charge. Well, there's kids. There's kids she gave alcohol and cigarettes to that are still around, too. And he said it when he was being questioned, so I know it's on record. Just like I also know it was on record that Don Wells drove back up to the property during the domestic violence call and almost fell out of the truck totally crap-faced with a gun in the truck, and he didn't get a DUI then either. So there's something really going on in that county where he's just a little tick above the law, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think we should all be on a fair playing field if we're going to play ball at all. Because right now, there's not any ball playing going on. It's just somebody's walking all over the rest of us law-abiding people. You know, we watch this guy shit-faced or shooting up and getting drugs, so we know he's transporting them to get there. I mean, he has to drive straight up a hill, or people are bringing them. I mean, this road is not like it's a crowded road, and you can't catch them even bringing the drugs home. And you don't have enough sense to even believe they're growing marijuana out there if they're not letting you search portions of that land. I don't care whose land they say it is, because technically it's not any of theirs. It's all illegal. None of these deeds are legal. But they can't search a certain area, you know, the one probably they rope the dogs to. Make sure you stay away from, because trust me, nobody can go as long as Don Wells goes without having a job and still support a family, either by cigarettes and alcohol or the drugs he uses. And he is an addict, and he's not going to go without his drugs, so that means he's making multiple attempts to go and get them. Multiple trips in which him and Candace, one of the two, have to be driving, or Grandis. Now me, just me, every time I seen that car, I'd pull it over. You know, but they never, ever get pulled over. Right? The only time he did, he was right there on top of the police station. I mean, right next door to the post office. It was like 2 turns away. He'd have been right there on them. 30 minutes away when he could have went 12 minutes up the road and got cigarettes. 24 hours. It's a store right there. That's not where he went. We can probably all figure out where he was going. And man, I have seen his new group of supporters out there who swear he's not a drug user, right? You guys seen these guys? They're telling us that we're not seeing him shoot up. You know, they're being triggered by us talking about it. What is it? Self-made mom, and I actually liked her work at one time too, and she has jumped on the Benny Skis bandwagon because she was a previous addict. If we talk about someone shooting up, then we're triggering them, and this may not be the community for you, because we do true crime here, so we state what we see with our eyes, and I'm not a fool. I can see what I see with my eyes. The man's tied off. He's using. Okay? I don't need you to tell me what I see. He don't even have enough respect for his own child to not do it on camera while they're speaking about his daughter. So don't tell me what I need to do and what I don't need to do when it comes to Don Wells. He lost all respect that I would ever have for anybody on the telephone with me personally before I ever came here. That was loud, probably. Sorry about that. If anybody's not deaf, you probably will be. Does anybody got eardrums left after that? That's what happens when I get frustrated. Drugs are probably being delivered there, but either way, they've got to get there. You know, he's got to be either trading for them, bartering for them, but they're making it there. And we've seen them chop it up, and then they come back and tell us what? That was fried green tomatoes on that plate where that puppy was. We weren't using drugs. No, you didn't see that. I know what it looks like when somebody uses drugs. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a child. This isn't a place for idiots and children. This is true crime community. It's not where we come to, you know, sit all night and just have discussions about our feelings. We're here to do something. We're here for a common cause. Either you have input in it or you don't. So if you don't, then just stay out of my lane and let the grown-ups handle it, because we're not being triggered with evidence. If you're being triggered, you need to probably find a different place to spend your time.
But I mean, you should know I was cooking.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where the blood work is too for his blood results. But look at the first put-off date. What? We got to go to February to find out for that one, and then he could get 2 more at least continuances. So who knows? And I'm sure, I'm sure that a lot of that's going on, Twister, but I wouldn't name names. But I know some people over there that have rolled on people for less than what's going on. But not with Don, huh? You know, whether it's smoking crack or shooting heroin or whatever, I know I see what I see with my own 2 eyes. I'm sure any bit of investigating that they wanted to done, if they wanted to do any down there now, they could. If Hawkins County wanted to go check out your closest place to buy needles and see if they were, they could do that. They could sit around, every 2 to 3 days, because people can only go so long before they have to have what they have to have. When you're an addict, and you either get help or it will probably kill you. Those are really your 2 options at the point that they're at. But it doesn't seem like anybody wants to do the right thing, because if you were to get them in there alone, you could get to the truth. And anybody out here, let's go back over a couple of things. I know I'm going to hear, the parents passed a lie detector test, right? So they're clean, right? They didn't do anything. Listen, if you guys really believe that, if you really believe these 2 people are innocent, then you must believe that aliens come down from the sky and beamed this child up and took her away. But let me tell you another thing. I know I'm a conspiracy person, whatever. I can't even say the word, but I'm that, right? But let's just say, for instance, if you have the whole timeline wrong, just like Eaton said when he was there, what if it was on the 14th that something happened? What if, when they got the milk, it was to keep her head cool? What if they put the dent in the milk jug to hold her head up? What if they wrapped that seatbelt around her waist backwards the way they did to help hold her up? What if she was really already dead? What if they did something with her body? What if that's the actual case here? I've been on the what if she was kidnapped for a long time now. So let's just say, what if they killed her? Where do we go from here? Who all could have been involved? Well, we've got a list of them, right? But where are they now? Can somebody tell me where Jackie Dobbs is? Somebody tell me where Ethan Wise is? Can somebody tell me where anybody was on the 14th? Because you could pass a lie detector test if you have every question wrong. If nothing happened on the 15th, then you can get everything right about the 15th. And if she's not yours, then they ask you, did you hurt your child? You can clearly say, no, I didn't, because she's not yours. It's all in semantics, and with semantics, you can tell the truth. That's why it's not admissible in court, guys. We can never know the true facts of the case because we were not there. And because we can't be there, you don't know the exact questions to ask to catch them in a lie. But there's really weak links in their chain, guys. Weak links, okay? Things that we know happened. We know on the 14th, from the FBI report, there was a red truck seen in the area. Okay, we also know that Ethan Wise was working with Don and paints when he gets done mudding. We know that there's some weights in that front yard that were in the Dancing in the Rain video that no one can locate. Once police detectives arrived to look, they weren't there. When cracking cases went there, they were not there. We also know the tree company, there you go, they was there. We have other people that were around on the 14th and 15th, but you can't even get them to speak about the 14th. when the red truck run off in the ditch, when whatever that accident was happened, when he was supposedly working out of town with the guy with the yellow truck that he claims is so shady, but he has an alibi for the 15th. Well, does he have one for the 14th? And when Dr. Phil asked her, can we talk about the 14th, she broke into tears and said, I'm not going any further back. I refuse. She won't go the day before because they haven't made that story down pat. And for everything everybody did with Hunter that day, it's not possible. Not in that time frame. Listen, I went there and I went from Walgreens to Warriors Pass when they said it was only, 15 minutes? It took 15 minutes to do that. And I'm here to tell you, you cannot pick up Hunter at 10 o'clock, go all the places y'all said you went, and get him back home by 2 o'clock and still be taking that picture at 3 o'clock and get a signal when you come on your property for everything to timestamp. It's not possible. So let's get a grip. We also know that she was reusing the pictures that she had taken previously from March and April. She was manipulating them, manipulating what was in them, manipulating the dates. And at 6:04, she was posting to Facebook. Now, that's also the same time that Dawn was on the phone with 911. And she was supposed to be looking. Obviously, a lie. But she passed a lie detector. I firmly believe that I want to know where Hunter was the night of the 14th. Because I believe she brought him home on the 15th. But I want to know where he was the night before, because what gets lost is there was once a bunch of talk about Hunter spending the night. You remember that? And the talk about going to the water park the next day that suddenly then supposedly didn't happen, right? Or did or didn't. And his story about she brought Summer in and changed her clothes before they went, well, they were going to go fishing. But then she changed her clothes and put on her bathing suit, he says, in his house. But he had said they were going fishing. No one had planned to go swimming, so that didn't make sense. So it's lies. You have to throw the shit out. And if someone took a picture like that of a child in the back of a car that clearly could not have had her arms behind her head sleeping because one is trapped between the milk jugs and her body, then you were taking it for a reason. It's nothing more than a proof of life picture because you needed to act like she was alive on the 15th. But what do I think? I think what we see coming out of that seatbelt has a little bit to do with decomp. I think a pillow might have been involved, not because she was wet, not if you'd done changed her into brand new clothes, she wasn't wet. Right? So what'd you need? Where does decomp come from first, you guys? Come on, people that are here for evidence and here for facts, let's go to the facts. What's the first thing to start turning when your body's going in and out of rigor? Your nail beds, right? And how can both arms be trapped behind your head if one, or behind your head sleeping cutely, if one's stuck between a milk jug and your body? And I would also like to know how you defy the laws of gravity with your completely relaxed, but your head is sticking at about a 70-degree angle. I tried to recreate that picture with my grandson. The way the hood's pulled over on her shoulder, the way the seatbelt's wrapped around the wrong way, the way candy's just scattered over in that seat tells us Hunter was not sitting right there. There's no way. He wasn't sitting there. So what do? They just allow you to come in there and tell your side of whatever story and just walk back out and say, yeah, there's my story. That's what happened. And that's true, just love. Right out of your belly button. So if you've kept a child somewhere around your house because you've done something to it and you've kept her at least 1 to 2 days. Now, the last time that anybody's saying they've seen her alive was on the 13th. Jody Sue says she's seen him coming out of the shower and she was in the kitchen, buck naked, right? Asking for a towel. She said that was the 13th. I know that on the 12th they weren't at church because I watched all the video. So when was the last time anybody really seen her alive? I don't know. But I know that during the first 24 to 36 hours, your body goes into several stages of coming in and out of decomp. I know that I've heard it talked about, and I don't believe that minds are always very clear, but I've heard it talked about the smell in the area. And the smell of death is something you will never mistake for something else. And it sticks with you the rest of your life. It's something that will haunt you at night every time you go to sleep. So if you've done it and you feel that way, it's probably hard for you to sleep at night. But there's more to that picture than just that. You know, when your kids get in the car, they either get all the way over or they get against the window, normally against the window, because they want to see what's going on, right? But that's not where she's sitting. But if you would reach in and set your kid down, that's where you would reach into. It's about how far your arms go. And why is there a dent in the milk jug, you know? Why? Well, your head's going to keep on rolling right off if you don't put something there to hold your head. So let's put a dent in it. Milk jugs don't come with dents in it. I mean, they're not ready made that way. There's also a big problem with the fact we don't see no condensation on that. And I know it was in the 80s that day. So cold milk coming from a store would be condensation on it. But if you had some jugs at your house and you just dumped out the milk and you filled them up with whatever water, shitty water you've got around there because you just need a prop for the moment, that looks a little bit more like what we got going on in this picture. You know, putting a dent in it without busting it probably did it while the lid was off. Everything that's going on before us, you could go reenact for yourself and you would know for a fact it is a lie. They're lying to us. You don't lie to people. You started out this lie by saying, me and Candace took care of my mom, Karen Goad, and she had Mercer. She was dying. We took care of her for years, and she left us this house. Boy, that was the most important thing that they had to say right there. You know, the most important things, what you say first, you put the most emphasis on. Well, we can go all the way back to dispatch. What's the first most stuff we heard about? We still get confused. Did somebody see Summer last walking out to the road? Or was she last seen in the basement? Because there's two different stories that went on right there. But you know why we can't pay that much attention to that is because so much emphasis was put on where was mom? Was mom walking, running an errand? When more emphasis is put on the fact that you're trying to make an alibi for yourself and not the fact that you have a child missing right now, get some people up here and they're telling you more about what happened in their day. Mama stepped away for a few minutes out running an errand, and when she come back, the kid was missing, blah, blah, blah. When you go into that crap and the dispatcher's talking that crap, then you know somebody spent a lot of time establishing an alibi on the telephone. My child goes missing. I'm not going to tell you what I've been doing the entire day. I just want you to know she's missing. Get here. Help me now. And how long will it take to get here? But that's not how their story went. It's not went that way from the beginning. Now we can break down their story into little bitty pieces and who they called first to come out there and who was first on the scene and were they liars too. Well, yes. You know, first one's on the scene besides the police. And we believe probably Don's sitting down there in the lower lot. And then he sees Jody Sue and the kids start to come out. And he knows he's fixing to get seen. So he has to say, well, I pulled down here first because he knows more than likely Jody Sue seen me, but I was just sitting here waiting for the cops to go by. Then he goes up to the top of it. Look, I stopped down there first instead of just, coming up here. Bullshit. You just didn't know if you were spotted or not, Don. You're not that smart. You're simple-minded, actually. So back to the first ones that they make calls to, they would be trusted friends, right? If we think that they had done something, and I'm telling you, I think they did only because you're lying to me from the beginning. First of all, Karen's not your mom. Second of all, you didn't take care of anybody. You don't even take care of yourself or your children, much less your mother. So let's get that joke over with fast. You never met Karen Goad in your life, and you know who Claudia Trent is, at least the person signing her name. So those two lies were in almost every story, and then we start getting another lie was, I just started going to this church recently and figured out that the Sabbath day should be the holy day, and I really like this church now, and I'm going to start going here. So we're all getting the feeling inside, at least I remember I did, that he was new to the area, new to the church, didn't have anybody, and poor Don, his mom was dead, probably didn't have no friends. What can I do for this poor guy? That's why you're taught to listen with your ears, but not with your eyes, because you will feel sorry for them. And when you do, you don't see critical evidence. So I fell for it, you know. I immediately started sending in pictures of anybody I could find in the area that had been charged with child pornography or any kind of children's charges. I mean, I was sending them right to his Facebook. They're still there today. You can find them. You know, I wanted to come there, search for your daughter. Let me do what we can do. You know, me and my husband, we're available. We're even divers. Is there water around there? Because she had walked somewhere and fell in the water. What can we do to help you? Nothing. He won't help. Did not want help. Did he want to flirt? Did he want to talk about everything in the world besides that? Yeah, absolutely. And then they've got their little closest friends that they call over there, and they pull in their little trailers and they huddle up for their story. And I'm sure it's not just Robin and Jackie and David Dobson and these guys. You know, hell, I thought David Dobbs, after I found out about Jackie Dobbs and that land deal, good Lord, I was coming for his head, you know. Everybody on the internet done convinced that Don did it, but I wasn't. I was convinced Jackie Dobbs did it, man, over this land deal. These people running that dude off like that, embarrassing him. He's deleted his Facebook, shaved his face. People are, you know, look at these people saying, he's up here at this motel, there's his dog. You know, oh my God, this guy, he had to do it. Had to be him. Couldn't have been anybody else. I mean, he was in seeing distance of the kids. He had a dog. She would have played with the dog. It all made sense. It was Jackie Dobbs. But the one person that I put it on his page, and the one person I wanted to talk about it refused. Well, we're glad to have you guys, all of you here. And the more he refused to talk about me, and the more people came from me on Facebook, the madder I got too. And I want to know why the hell I can't talk about Jackie Dobbs, man. What are we hiding that I can't talk about Jackie Dobbs? Because this guy is like the perfect shoot. Even if I'd done something crazy, I'd have been pointing my finger at this guy. Wouldn't you? You couldn't even get that man to say Jackie Dobbs. And I believe to this day you can't get Don Wills to say the words Jackie Dobbs. Why the hell not? You don't ever ask yourself that. As guilty as he looks to us, have you ever asked yourself why he won't even say his name? That isn't crazy. That isn't mind-blowing to you guys. Because even if I was guilty, I would be pointing my finger at that man right there, right? But not Don. Don won't mention that name. And who in their right mind that lives in eastern Tennessee don't know anybody with a red truck? I think every time we went there, that's been our biggest joke. Everybody has a red truck. Everybody. He don't know anybody with a red truck, not even that one right behind him that works with him every day, the one right behind him on video while he's talking to Cher. He doesn't know anybody with a red truck with a ladder rack. But I mean, he don't even let you get the words ladder rack out. He just jumps on the fact, I don't know anybody with a red truck, and him and Candace together shake their head no. And I remember sitting there thinking, when all the pictures come out of Summer in that church, who the hell is stalking that child that they took that many pictures of that youngin'? Somebody in that church has done something to that child. But that's another place he wouldn't point his finger. So the more I questioned myself why he wouldn't look at the obvious people, the more it made me have to dig deeper into his life. Far deeper than I ever wanted to be and know more about him than I ever wanted to know. But I know it all by memory. I don't have to sit here and look at notes about dates or ask myself when Summer's birthday is or even when is his, which one. I would have to ask myself, but that's about it because he has several. So when someone keeps saying a crazy story and they won't point their finger at the actual people that could have very well have done it, they don't want you to look here, but they want you to look far, far away, right? Mexico, probably, or somewhere across the border. She's been trafficked. Now, to me, that would be the conspiracy. Like if I was sitting here believing that somebody came on that land up that hill in the middle of daylight with all them people up there and heard noises and people talking, sitting outside fixing knee braces, and still snuck into that basement and took a little girl out and no one heard anything and maybe heard a scream, maybe not, because we don't really know what hour it may or may not have happened. That would be a much crazier story to me. The fact that a bunch of criminals are lying and covering up what they did doesn't seem to be a conspiracy theory to me at all. It seems to be what they do. It's par for the course. I've never met a criminal that comes out here and is honest about his background. But what I find really funny is when you look at the case and you look at the evidence of what we know is not true today, just like I don't know anybody with a red truck, that there are still creators out here that will say the words, Don has stuck to his same story all the way through, and it's been the right story. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. And I also want to know, any of you that are married or in a relationship, if your child goes missing and it's gone this long and you can't find a suspect, or you won't put your finger on a suspect, even though you're saying you weren't there, you won't think it's a possibility that Jackie Dobbs or Ethan Wise or somebody came up there, you won't think it's a possibility that they did anything or destroyed their truck so that they won't have any kind of Starlink evidence. That didn't happen either. But anyways, you won't point your finger at anybody else, but if you're in a relationship and your child goes missing, y'all name one of you that are not going to be pointing your finger at your spouse or looking at them like they got three eyeballs. If you were not there, your child is missing, and you've got no answers for 6 months. But they never once point the finger at the other one. I've seen relationships destroyed for much less. A kid goes missing in a family, it destroys the relationship right off the bat. But guess what has happened in this relationship? It has drove these two nuts closer together. They've lost every one of their children that they've ever had come into their lives. I'm telling you, they're not theirs, but they've lost every child that ever came into their life, and it doesn't affect them at all. At all. One minute they'll forget they have a daughter. One minute they'll forget to have the boys because they're reminded that they have to. Oh, we forgot we didn't mention Summer, so we better remember. And then they'll mention the boys or vice versa. But they can't remember that they've got kids. And they sit there and party more now than they did then, but they partied quite a bit with the children there. And he sits and he tells us on a live that he sneaks to talk to Josie because they don't want you talking to him alone. So why do you sneak and talk to him about anything? And you made the statement, I sneaked to talk to him about his sister. But there's no new evidence about his sister. There's nothing that he would need to know about. Nothing has happened in this case. What would you be talking to him about? Are you trying to make him feel guilty about something? Or are you trying to keep his mouth shut? What would you need to sneak and talk to him about his sister for? There should be nothing because nothing has changed, right, Don? I mean, nothing in your story has changed according to you, right? No new people. Navy beans. So they went to Ethan Wise. What do you mean? We don't know. Ethan Wise totaled that truck. And his, I'm sure, whatever tracker is in a Toyota Tacoma that year, if there is even one, or he wanted to make sure there wasn't one, it's not there anymore. He did that in August. Yeah, these kids should not be in a position where he can sneak and talk to anybody, but he is such the dog, and he has been raised and been in and out of prison, and his entire family, you guys, let's just face it. When you get to know who they really are, you're going to be shocked, you're going to be amazed, but you're going to say, you know what, it makes perfect sense that this guy is this snaky and evil and twisted. I don't think that he should even visit the children unless there's probably a piece of glass between them. Because like I said, in the Baby Joe Clyde Daniels case, it took 3 years to go to trial, and it was the night before trial when his brother finally said he watched his daddy beat him to death. 3 years it took that little boy to say anything. That's how much hold an average person can have over a child. Can you imagine how much of a hold Don Wells has over these kids? When I've already heard it said several times, it's not my fault. Or they tell you, I tell the kids all the time not to leave that door unlocked. I tell the kids all the time to watch their sister and not let her out of the side. It's not their place. It was not those boys' place to watch their sister. That was your responsibility, Don Wells. You and Candace Bly. It was your responsibility to watch Summer. It never should have been a responsibility for those little boys. And how dare you make them feel like it is? But that's what you're doing. That's the guilt trip you're laying. They didn't go downstairs and play with her, or they didn't lock the door behind themselves, or their head is always in that game and they didn't pay attention to their sister. And now look, it's all their fault. That's what you're doing to them, because it makes life easier for you, but it's your responsibility. You're the adult. It was never their place to watch her. Y'all are lazy. You're drug addicts. You're worthless. You treat those little kids like they're your obedient entertainment for whatever kicks and giggles y'all can get out of it. But what's funny now is that you only have each other to entertain yourselves, and look how much fun y'all are having. Everybody wants to come and use Ben Lane for a bed and breakfast. Y'all have the best entertainment in town. Y'all were never able to be a parent, and y'all's parents were never parents, and you're passing it down from generation to generation. And you've proved time and time again no children need to be around y'all, and they never will be. I don't care if anybody with a warped and twisted mind over there, Lizzie B. Savage, I hope you don't have any children. Your mind is twisted, by the way. Benny Keys. Some people in this world should never, ever be around children, and that goes for several generations in this family that we're talking about. They should have never been around children. Grandis included, Don included, Don's family included. These were not parents, okay? These were birthers, just like what they've got going on still at this church. Your looks, your white, your blue eyes, they'll get you everywhere in the SDA religion. And how worthless, man. I can't find anything of value left in you guys. So what is keeping Benny Keys and Lizzie B. Savage going, attacking all these creators, man? Somebody like Chip with health problems. And right or wrong, when these people do things out here, they do them because something inside of them tells them to do it, okay? And who are you, and how dare you think that you're the judge and you're the jury? You sit there every day telling us not to judge the Wells. I'm judging them by their damn behavior. You sit on a throne over there casting down judgment on everybody out here, and you don't even bother to ask why they do things. You don't care. The only thing you do care about is making other people's life a living hell, and you get great joy out of that, and it's sick. There's no place in society for you. So you can't function in society, so you are a keyboard warrior, right? I bet your fingers are skinny, but the rest of you might needs a little work, don't it? Oh, don't talk about your looks. Well, that's what you come for everybody for, right? You're sensitive when it comes to your looks. Don't be so sensitive. But you walk around, Lizzie, and you act like everyone out here is supposed to be scared of you. No one out here is scared of you pressing keys about them, okay? No one. They're not. You may distract them for a little while. You may get attention and clout that you're chasing, but you're disgusting as a human being, and that will forever follow you wherever you go for the rest of your life. Who might be? I'm talking about Lizzie B. Savage. You have no right to cast judgment on people out here, especially ones that are not missing family members. They're not asking for help. They haven't asked you for anything. So stay the hell away from them. Okay? You go tend to the wells, they need a lot of help. Send some Cash App money over there. Let's see what they do with it. Just do what you're talking about, right? All the shit you want us to do, right? You want us to defend the wells and love the wells and sing Kumbaya with the wells. Why don't you go do that, Lizzie? You can get the hell off the internet. You can move up to Ben Hill. You can redress Candace up. She can become your doll. You can do her makeup, do her hair, make her look better, teach her a few things, teach her how to read and write. Quiet on the set. I'm sorry. Teach her how to read and write. Teach her how to get a job. Teach Don how to stay off the damn phone and quit bringing other women into his marriage. Why don't you go up there and train your pets? And quit telling me what to do, because I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to. Okay? You can make little beams all day or little things on the damn internet. No one cares. What, you get 200 views? Was it worth your time? Is this what you're going to do with the rest of your life? Might be. Good luck getting a damn job. You have all of like 10 followers that even find y'all slightly amusing, and they're all felons, and they just want everybody to say, yep, that's right. Shouldn't condemn us for smoking crack because there's nothing wrong with it. We didn't kill anybody. Whatever, man. Do it. But your people up there that you're defending and you don't want us to hurt their feelings, they're grown-ass adults. How often do you think of summer? When you're sitting over there playing a song that I know good and well came from me that you didn't have no clue about, Scars in Heaven, I want you to really think about that. Think about there's a little 5-year-old girl somewhere out there. You were 5 one time. Unfortunately, you may even have a child one day. Heaven forbid, right? You need help finding her. Because I wonder how many people are going to jump out there and do it. Because I'm starting to even wonder if there's any good left in you two. Any good at all. There's been no point in what y'all are doing for so long now, and you still continue to get worse and worse. And you think really that we're out here thinking that you've got some bombshell evidence on these bullshit tapes that you're putting out about Chip? First of all, let me say this to Griffey. And you know that I cared a lot about you, right? And I know you'll listen to this. You'll be told that I said it. So let me tell you how I feel about it.
I hope you die, Griff.
I feel like, Griffey, you could have took those tapes to anybody if you felt like you needed to take them to somebody. Anybody in this world with any morality and any soul in their body and that wanted good or justice to come out of something or wanted them for any reasons whatsoever. But you took them to the one person that doesn't do anything but try to destroy other people. Now that's what I can't find right in. And so far, I've not seen any bombshell damn evidence, and that would have been the first shit you went to because I know how you work. Okay, you're not that bright. But she keeps saying that you need us to keep coming over there and keep viewing because we're going to really get some shit out of that, right? Eventually. Whatever. Because if she'd have done something so damn bad, wouldn't have Griffey turned her back on her a long time ago and just left Chip's room? Because she could have. It's a free country. There was no handcuffs attached to the door over there. You just simply hit a key and leave. Right? So why even keep going over to Griffey's channel or being a moderator or helping her with shit if she's so damn wrong and she's so damn disgusting and everything she does? Why? Why help an evil person commit their crimes or whatever you're saying that they did? Why'd you help? Why'd you participate? You needed more ammunition? Why tape people? Because you could have just walked away. You don't have to give somebody ammunition to hurt somebody else. I mean, even if you think they're wrong. Thinking somebody's wrong also don't give you a right to try to destroy people's character or feelings or anything else in this world. It don't give you that right, because just because you feel they're wrong, that don't make them wrong. You don't know where they were coming from. You don't know everything in life. Why would you go to Lizzie with anything? Chase, the same thing goes for him. I mean, I thought that was a good guy. I thought he really came into this case and he wanted to find Summer, and he had all the best intentions. I sent people to join his rooms. I asked you guys if you felt the need to make any kind of donations. Please make donations to Chase. Griff, I've went from channel to channel and told people to subscribe to him. I liked his messages. And now we have others that are turning in the wrong direction. It's the saddest thing that I've ever seen, because y'all are trying to take out the good people when there's bad people out here to take out. Yeah. You could contribute something to this investigation. You can actually look up something on somebody, try to find out where Jackie Dobbs is, where Ethan Wise is, who are some of these tree cutters that were in the area. You could do all this work to help your friends out besides attacking people on YouTube. If you really want them to be your pets, well, you need to raise them correctly. Potty train them, get them a door to their bathroom and some clean needles. Be a first step. But I try to stay to my own business and mind my own business. And if someone does something that I don't like, guess what? Walk away. You don't have to be their friend. You don't have to be a mod for them. You don't have to stay in their room. You don't have to do all that. You can walk away. And you can walk away without hurting that person. You can just choose to disagree and go on. Right? Why not? Wouldn't have that been okay? Wouldn't have that been enough? And then there wouldn't have been more hate thrown in on Summer's case, more bullshit, more ammunition for these clowns over here to use. Did you really make the right moves? I said the same thing even though what Chase did when he said that about the FBI agent had their eye on Summer and she'd be back home soon. Sadly, I was very, very upset, because that made people quit looking. People believed in you, Chase. People believed what you say. When we're out here as creators, what we say means something. It carries a little weight. They think if we're in true crime, we're supposed to be staying on top of the evidence and on top of the information. So some people took that as fact and they quit looking. So you need to re-guess what you're doing. This is probably not the right area for you to be in. Do I think you started out correctly? Yes, I do, but it went awry somewhere along the way. So let's just see our way out of it, not create another channel and do this again next week. Let's not ever do this again. But even when she taped you, I didn't have a problem with her then. She didn't go after me then. She did later. That's fine. I took that up with her. But I didn't feel like she should have taped the phone call. I would have just said, this is what you said to me, and I didn't like what you said, and that's why we're not friends anymore, okay? And it's not confirmed. No one has seen her, and I don't endorse that message. That's what I would have done. I would have corrected you. I would have said, doing that's wrong. It's harmful to the case. Please don't do that. Don't even say that you even think that's true, But I tried to call out the bad behavior, but that's not what's going on with you guys over there. You're not calling out bad behavior. You're not calling out people for doing things wrong. You're going after people for no reason. You're attacking their character or what you think they're thinking or what you think they're doing, shit you can't prove. And then you guys come out with receipts, and I'm hearing now have a comma or shit shouldn't be, like some homemade receipts. I mean, I don't know, but it sounds to me like everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar at the same time. And what you do in life comes back to you no matter if you think it doesn't, and you do destroy somebody and you get what you want, which I don't know what that is. What do you want? You want Chip to shut that channel down? You want no more mystery angels out there? Would that make your life better? Will your channel become bigger then, and you'll have more subscribers? And then what? Play some more replays, put some more ads in. I mean, what really is the big picture by taking her down? What are you going to accomplish? At the end of the day, is Lizzie Savage looking out to be the only creator out here? God, man, I think everybody would get tired of seeing your face, because that's pretty much the only thing you want to talk about. And people out here that are so self-absorbed, there's no way y'all can do true crime, because you don't care about anybody more than you care about yourself. You have to care about something more than yourself in order to do this job. You have to be able to tune everything else around you out, not give a shit who's talking about you, who's not. In fact, it probably sounds like a murmur when you hear it. People even tell you, and they wonder why you're not affected and you're not attacking that person, because you're not. But if that person silences you, shuts you down, and you've got a message to put out, well, then you do what you got to do. But you use your energy for the wars that you have to fight out here. And you guys are not ready. And if I was out here and I knew that what I was doing was causing harm in a case, was even bringing chaos to a case, I would stop what I was doing. Because that would be more important than my bullshit drama. It would be more important. This little girl's life should be more important than this shit that we are talking about for hours and hours on end, repeating the same stuff over and over again. He talked about me. She talked about me. They doxed me. They gave out my phone number. Why is he talking about me? Why is she saying that my room was rude to her? I don't have a wrench. You have a wrench. There's not enough mods. Come on. Trigger warning. Just stop. There's a little girl out there with no voice. None at all. She can't even tell you if she's starving or how long she's been starving. How many times she wanted something to eat and there was no one to feed her. How many times she was cold and no one there to keep her warm. How many times that she was ashamed of what she looked like when she went to church with everybody else that looked so pretty. And when her little voice probably did speak up, or her eyes cried out for help, no one cared. It was still like she was silent. And she had real shit to talk about, guys. There was some real shit going on at that house. And no one heard her. And we bitch and we moan and we complain about the stupidest shit over here, man. We attack each other for the stupidest shit. And we look at these kids' lives and we put ourselves in their life for one day and imagine what they felt like. Can you imagine being on vacation in Gatlinburg and standing outside of the Wonderworks Museum and how beautiful that thing is upside down and how much wonder that must be in a child's eyes? And you don't even have shoes on your feet. And if your family could afford to take you in, you wouldn't be able to go because you don't have shoes. And so when your feet get too sore from walking through the parks because those are free and you can go there, they let you borrow their boots for a little while. Can you imagine being 13, 14 years old and watching other people go by you and the snickering because you smell bad? Even your water at house don't smell good. And everybody else is buying a soda out of the drink machine and you're watching them. And it's 80 degrees outside. Can you imagine what it's like to watch them drink it? And knowing it's not even going to do you any good to ask. Imagine going home at night and not even have a safe place to go and hide away from whatever's going on in your home. Where everything's wide open and there's no doors and nothing to protect you. From one day to the next, you don't know if you'll have food or clothes or who'll come up to that house or how high mom might get tonight, how drunk dad might get. Are they going to hurt each other? Are they going to kill each other? I'm so little. Can you imagine if you lived every moment of your life in terror? Never knowing what was going to come at you next. Are you the next joke? Is mom and dad going to need some entertainment tonight? Are they going to use you to pit a war between each other, your brothers and sisters, and have you fist fight in the yard for their entertainment? See who can knock each other out, who can climb the rope, who's the toughest, who's the fastest. Constant competition they pit one another against for their entertainment. You know, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going to a church thinking that that's where I'm supposed to be safe and everyone looks so pretty and their mom's all dressed up and they look so pretty and my mom is over there on that bench in a hoodie, stretched out, kicked back with a shaved head, hoodie over her face, asleep. She's not paying me any attention, but everybody's probably paying her attention and it would have to be shameful. Yeah, it wasn't only that mom wasn't brushing my teeth. Hell, she wasn't even brushing hers, and no one seemed to care where I was at any given time, right? She could have been anywhere, anybody in that church. And now we know it's full of a bunch of crazy people, sick guys, and no one paid attention. Mom's stretched out over there asleep on the bench. It shows how much she cares, right? But can you imagine being in that church and that's your one safe place, maybe? And then every day you're attached to this one lady that you think so pretty. She's always got pretty clothes on, smells nice, hair's always clean and long. And you can always see in Summer's eyes she's fascinated by the way Robin looks. She just thinks Robin is beautiful. And I can imagine every day she thought today is going to be the day when Robin will take me home with her and I won't have to go back up there to Ben Hill. I mean, somebody will notice, right? Somebody will notice that I don't have clothes and I don't have shoes and I'm getting skinnier and skinnier and my hair's dying, and look at it. I'm not getting the proper nutrients. My teeth are all rotting out and my hair is just fried like broom, like a broom. It's just all around bad. But everybody in that church is going on with their lives and their kids look beautiful. And I'll never forget watching Easter Sunday and all those kids sat down on that front row and there was Summer coming into the picture. She sat right down in the middle of the front row and she had a plaid shirt on and a pair of blue jeans, and everybody else had their Easter dresses on, and my heart broke. Because I knew what people were thinking. They were thinking, look at this child. Look at what she's wearing. Summer's heart was probably still full of excitement. Just, she's there. She's at church. She's not at Ben Hill, So excited. But they were going to take pictures and make videos and do the shit that they do. But did anybody take her out and say, hey, we got this pretty little dress. Let me put this on you for the day? Imagine how that would have made her feel. So all I'm saying is this, you guys, if you are for true crime and this is what you're going to do, then what we can't do is sit around and feel all in our feelings about, oh, poor me. You have to be willing to step up, take the hits, take the bruises, because you should be here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. And that reason is I said that in life, I didn't know that she needed help. If I would have seen her, if she'd have walked in my church, I would have helped her. I didn't. I couldn't. But I could at least try to do something now. And if I can't physically some days, then some days at least I can maybe bring a little respect to her name, bring a little bit more understanding to the case, provide something positive. But if I couldn't, I would go away. If all I had to bring forward every day was something negative or create something negative, there would be no reason for me to be here. What is the point in that? What will ever be gained from that? If I sit and bellyache over the emails that I get or things that have been done to me or the phone calls that I get, what good would come out of that? If I called the police on other people that are doing wrong or doxed them or reported them or called CPS on them, what good would come out of that? What good is going to come out of me sitting out here and bashing anybody? Nothing. What I'm asking, don't be a hypocrite. Don't sit over there on your channels and tell things about me that are not true. If you've debunked some of my evidence, please put it forward. Please show it. Don't discredit my name without proof. And if you are talking about you being doxxed, just talk about you. Don't redox me in the process. I'm not bitching about it. It happened. It's over. Move on. It's not really doxing because nobody did anything to harm me. It's just you put my information out there. Well, congratulations. That is who I am. I would not want people to come on here and listen to me and not know who I am. I mean, hell, if I'm a serial killer, I don't want you to come on here and agree with me, right? I mean, I kind of expect y'all to look at who you're talking to and who you're listening to and who you're getting your information from. I wish everybody did that. You know? Maybe everybody should question a little more who we're standing up for, who we're calling victims, if we don't even know them, right? And those of you that defend me when y'all hear those things, I really, really do appreciate that. Jenna went to bat for me. Jenna, sweet tea. I love you for that. I'll never forget that. I watched you. I logged off and went right back over there to watch what happened. And I want you to know that we appreciate that. You know, when you do that and you're standing up for somebody like that, I mean, that means something to somebody. I respect that quality. I'm the same way. I do the same things. If that person's right, I'll go to bat for them. They're right. But if they're wrong, even if I like you, I'll have to sit back and say, hey, yeah, they did the wrong thing there. They're going to have to take their lumps for that. And I'm definitely not going to listen to a church up here that tells me that psychics and this and that and the other are evil. I mean, Robin, please. Okay? Please. Just sit down somewhere. You're brainwashed. I mean, you think God makes a bunch of zombie children that need to be destroyed, and only 144,000 white people are going to the heaven you're going to. Obviously, we don't agree. Okay? I believe God makes everybody the way they makes them, or the Creator does, and He has a personal relationship with that person, and whatever gifts He grants, that's between Him and them, and I'll not be the judge of it. Definitely don't call people sorcerers and evil because they ask you, can they help you? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. What are you afraid of? In a case of a missing child, would you take the help of anybody that offered? I would. I wouldn't turn anybody down. But you guys do. You turn it down all the time, actually, from us, searchers, divers, everybody that wants to help. The only thing you don't turn down is money, people that are going to protect you and victimize others, and free trips. I mean, everything else you guys turn around. Nope, we don't want no part of it. You know? We found out where all summer's flyers are up there at that church. You're wadded up in your mailbox out there. You don't have respect for anybody. Now you're going to go and hide and take down videos that have kids in it because you've hidden the criminal background of everybody in that church, everybody in that religion, because they all deserve a fresh start, right? Well, they could babysit for you, but not me. Not me. And like I said, Lizzie and Benny, your new best friends, y'all are welcome to go up there and give them the real support they really need, you know, anytime y'all want to, because attacking people on YouTube is not going to help their problems. None at all. Trust me. None of us are going to go away for anything that y'all say, so it's a waste of time, energy, and breath. So unless you're just a psychopath that just can't stop doing what you're doing, then you're really accomplishing nothing. You're wasting your time. No one is going to log off because Lizzie B. Savage makes a meme. No one. Not even me. I don't even care to be here. I'm non-monetized. I don't care. But not even me is going to go away for you. I have a feeling your 1,000 subs you have will be all you ever get, and half of them are sock accounts. We all know how that goes over there on those channels that you guys keep making. So later on today, we have had one of our family members named Allegedly. She has a channel. By the way, you guys that are in here, if you have a true crime channel that you would like us to go visit and you're covering this case or another case, please let me know about it. I'd like to check you out, and we are welcome to share links in here as long as that's what it's about. And don't share any porn channels or nothing like that, please. But we have another creator in here by the name of Allegedly, and she is starting to research true crime cases And we are glad when anybody starts to do that, because the more the merrier. We really need to get a lot more of us out there, you guys. The more eyes on any case in any direction is nothing but a good thing. So we are going to get together today and talk for a little while, and then do another live later on this afternoon or this evening. And anyone else that's a creator that wants to come to that channel we'll probably do it here around 6 tonight, if that's good with you, allegedly. Get on here as creators and talk about our channels, talk about what we do, give allegedly some floor time, some of you other creators some floor time, to talk about what you do, share some of your videos here with everybody. Looking at things at different angles is the best thing that we can do here, guys. Every time that I go back over the evidence now, knowing what we know, I learn something new every time. So let's try to do that. Let's share some of that work that you guys have done together with each other and look at that and look at it in new ways. And hopefully it can open our eyes to things that we have maybe have missed before, and we can see them in a new way. So we're going to try that tonight around 6. So anybody that wants to come back for that, get on panel, talk about your channel. Let's throw some links around. Let's get some good people out here and get our numbers up. And that way we are stronger together, you guys. So I'm going to log off, spend some time with the family, and me and Just Love will be back tonight to do that. Michelle P., others, I've seen some wonderful posts there, Odd One and stuff. Yes, ma'am, we will definitely do that. Come back tonight. We'll get some links out here. Thanks for all the sweet comments, you guys. I see them when they pass by. It makes me feel good. You guys are amazing. So I'll see you tonight about 6 Eastern time. You guys come back. Love y'all. Bye-bye.